What's up guys, as always welcome back to another tutorial. In today's video I'll be showing you guys how to make a senator piping, a clean pouch and flat senator piping. As you guys can see right here, this is exactly the video in which you're going to do. So I want you guys to watch this video from beginning to the end to actually understand the process, because I will take you through the whole process and including the ironing. And that is the most important part, the ironing aspect. So I'm going to take you guys through the process of making this senator neck piping step by step. So all you have to do for me in this video is just to smash the like button. You should smash the like button because I keep giving you guys mad videos that's going to help you to like get more confidence with your work, make more money, and all you have to do is just to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's as simple as that. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial and make sure you smash the like button. So let's get into the tutorial. You see what we have? This is exactly what you're going to be having after this tutorial. So I need you guys to pay good attention to this video step by step. Don't jump. If you jump, you might miss something in the tutorial. I'll be taking you guys through the process of piping it in a professional way. As you can see right here, I'm yet to pipe it. I just do the whole stitching and I already joined my shoulder. You see what I have? I already joined my shoulder. I already joined my shoulder line. So the next thing is to simply pipe the neck. So firstly, in order to pipe the neck, the first thing you want to do here is to actually slit your opening at the center part. As you can see right here, this is the center part of my neck. So what you want to do is to determine the opening you want. So here I'll be working with 7 inches. So from here you can see I have a notch from this point right here. So from here right here, I'll be opening it at a total of 7 inches. If I make an opening at a total of 7 inches, the neck will be able to like go straight inside of the neck hole, right? And my placket is going to be at a total of 16 inches length for the placket, 16 inches. So the opening is going to be at least 7 inches. So here, what I'm going to be doing now is to simply slit this open. Make an opening like this. Doesn't have to like reach the end. You can see what you're opening now is exactly through this center point right here. That's exactly what we are cutting open, as you guys can see. So after that is done, the next thing is to cut our bias. So let's do that together step by step. So let's just place this aside, just like this. So here now, in order to cut the bias, you can see the fabric. If you're cutting a bias of any clothes that you want it to relax very well, if I'm cutting this place, you can see this is straight. And if I'm cutting it from this side, you can see that that side is straight. So in order to get that shape, in order to get it curved, we have to cut it in a slanty way, something that stretches. You see that? It has to stretch. That's the most important part. So in order to get that stretch part, all you have to do is basically simple. From here, I'm going to slant the fabric. You can see this is the straight part of the fabric, right? This side is the straight part. So I have to slant it like this. Like this, in order to get the curved edge. So that I can have something that stretch. You can see here, something that stretch. You can see here does not stretch that much. You can see from this side, it does not stretch. So you have to find somewhere that stretch a lot. This part actually stretch a lot, unlike this part. Unlike this part, okay, this part stretches more than this part. So this is exactly what we want. You can see that this part stretches more. That's exactly what we want. Exactly this stretch is what we want here. So now I'm just going to like make sure it is slant very well. I'm going to like cut this straight. Just cut that slant that we just did. So you can see these edges. This is the exact slant in which we want. You see that? You see how elastic that place is. So now, based on what we want to do, depending on the wideness you want on the neck area, I want this to be a total of 2 inches, even after folding. So I'm going to mark my 2 inches here. Mark my 2 inches here. 2 inches here. You can see that. So now on the neck area, if you measure the neck circumference, that's exactly what you want to cut. But you can basically just use your neck measurement. So here, my neck circumference is 16 inches. So here, all you have to cut is to cut like around 18 inches. So from this edge right here, if you measure here, you can cut like around 18. So you're going to have an SS that you can simply cut out. So I'm going to mark here 18 inches. So from here, I'm going to connect this place to this place. See that? And also here, I'm going to connect it together. That. And simply, I can cut it out. So basically, this is what we are going to be using to pipe the entire neck circumference. So make sure you mark your wrong and your right side. This is going to be my right side. You can see that. This is going to be my right side. And the next thing we have to do is just to fold this in order to enter round this neck. So let's go to the ironing table and do the folding step by step also. So now you can see what I have here. You can see the fabric. You can see that it is stretchy. That's the most important thing. It has to stretch so that you can easily manipulate the curve that you want on the fabric, right? So after that, I'm just going to give it a ironing. I want you guys to watch all of this part because it is very, very important to the result that we are going to get at the end. So at the tip, just one tip, I'm going to fold just a tiny bit of the fabric, just a tiny bit. When you're folding it, make sure the other side is larger than the one you are folding. So let's say I'm folding like a quarter of an inch from this side, the other side is going to be like half of an inch. So it's going to, one side has to be small while the other side has to be big. So pay attention here. So I'm just going to iron this place down. See what I'm doing? You can see what I have here. You see how flat that is. If you look at the other side that I have not folded, it is a little bit wider than what I have folded. You can see that. So you just have to use your eyes to gauge that aspect. So you just flatten it. You can use your clapper to like flatten it down. See that? So once it is flattened, you see, you can see how flat that other side is. Then this other side, I'm going to simply fold that part also. Fold it. Make sure they are not overlapping. Make sure they're just kissing. Both edges are kissing in the middle, right? So just iron it down just like this. See what I'm doing here? Iron it down. Iron it down. Just like this. See that? Just like this. So if you look at this, you can see that. Okay, let me make sure it's flattened. See what I'm doing? I don't want to jump any part of this. So I want you guys to see the whole process of everything. I'm not going to jump this part. I want you guys to see it all. So just take your time and just iron it. If you're using a steam iron, it is okay. If you're not using a steam iron, it is still okay. You can still, if the fabric is a little bit tough, you can sprinkle some water on the fabric. But this fabric, because I cut it in bias, it will always fall to what I want it to fall to. You can see, just flatten it down with your clapper. You see that? Can see. So if I show you guys this, what we're going to be having, even without putting a gum inside, it is looking flat and as flat as possible. This is exactly what we need. You see that? See how that looks like. So in total, you can see what we have here. It's like 1 inch in total. So if I fold it, I'll be having half of an inch. So if you look at it now, you can see that one part is actually wider than the other. That's the most important part. You can see here. So if I'm stitching the tip, I'm going to have something to hold the tip down inside. That's why one part has to be larger than the other. So after that is done, the next thing is to simply put our hemming gum in between. So remember the total wideness we have here is 1 inch, right? So if I put the gum is going to actually cover the whole inside of the piping, right? So I'm just going to put it inside it all the way down. Just place it inside the pipe, the entire fold that we make, just place it inside. And so far, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you smash the like button. And in case you want to join my professional class, a link will be in the description below to go and check. I have beginners, advanced, and professional. You can enroll to get more knowledge on how to make a senator outfit. So once this is flattened, the next thing is to start the ironing again. So now I'm going to just iron the side, just one side separately. You can see that. I'm going to iron one side separately. Just take your time. You don't have to rush all of this process at all. You don't have to rush because you have to get the best result. You can see how flat the pipe is looking. So I'm going to iron the second side as well. You see that? Just flatten it down. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. So once it is flattened, I'm just going to sprinkle some water on it. Sprinkle some water and simply continue like this. You can see. You can see that. Styling. So now you can see how flat the result we are having. You can see how flat the placket itself is exactly what your own should also be looking like. You see that? So once that is done, the next thing we are going to do now is to do the piping. Like we're going to fold it together, and you can see the edges that one part is longer than the other part. So once you're stitching it, there will be something holding the fabric itself. So you can see that. Now, this is very important. You have to press the iron very, very well and make sure it is flat. Like, use your energy. You don't have to iron like a baby. Touch the iron. So you can see what I'm having at the tip. You can see that this is the most crucial part. So all the way you have to iron it all the way to the top. You can see that. Just iron it all the way down. So here, use enough energy to flatten the fabric all the way down. See that? I don't want to jump this part because it is very essential in your results. That's why I have to go through all of the process. You see what I'm going to be having eventually? Easy peasy. Easy peasy. If this is your own result as well, you should smash the like button or you should drop a comment below. Let me know how it goes. So the next thing now is to curve this piping. Like you have to use your heat to like curve it around. So you can see that now all we have to do is just to bend that piping. We have to take our time to make sure it is bent. You can see that tip part that is showing now. You can see, let me iron that place. It has to flat. It has to be flat. You can see that. So now we want to shapen this thing to our desired result. Like whatsoever you want, you can shapen this curve to. You see what I'm doing here? You can see how curved that edge is. Now that curved edge has to flatten down and I have to continue the curve until both fabric join, like the both tip has to like join one another. That's when the piping is good. You can see that. It take time. You have to like dedicate your time in order to get this. If you want to get a good result, you can see the curve that I'm having. All you have to do is just to make sure the two tip actually touch one another, just like this, just exactly like how it's going to be on your neck. You know, the tip of the fabric has to touch one another. So all you have to do is just to flatten this, flatten the entire surface. You see what I have here, just like this. Flatten it down, make sure it is relaxed. You see how flat it is? That's how it's going to be on your neck as well. Jesus! My iron almost, but the iron does not like, I think the gum is like on the surface of the iron. So take your time, iron it, make sure it is relaxed. This is what you are supposed to have after ironing. You see how flat that is looking on the fabric? Exactly how it is going to be. So take your time, do not rush yourself. Take your time, go through the process of flattening it. So even if you throw this down anytime, it's going to always go down flat. It's like a blade or a knife. Anytime you throw it up, it will always fall down flat like this. You see that? So this is what I expect you guys to have also. This is what I have here. It's supposed to be as flat as this. So once you're done with it, the next thing is let me show you guys. If it is as flat as this, if you place it on your neck, you can see it's always going to like give you the shape in which you want. See that? See that? You see how it's looking? So all we have to do now is just to pin it to our outfit, like to pin it to the edges of the neck. So we are going to go to the sewing machine now and do the joining together step by step. So all you have to do is just to open it up like this. Remember, the larger part is going to be the one under, while the smaller part is going to be the one at the top, right? So we are going to open it, place the fabric inside and run our stitch all the way down. So let's go to the sewing machine and do that now. So here now, you can see now on the sewing machine, just open this place up and we're going to place it under. Don't forget that larger part has to be under while the smaller one has to be at the top, right? So I'm just going to open this up, just here. Make sure you're not stitching with, we just want to work from the front panel, just from here. Place this. I'm going to make this a little bit longer than the fabric itself. You can see from here. I'm going to place this just inside, just like this. Let me lift the camera up a bit so you can see clearly. Okay, just like this, you can see. You can see that. Make sure it's inside. Then I'm going to place this on top of it. See that? Then I'm going to start my stitch. So take your time. The stitch has to be on the tip of the fabric. On the tip of the fabric. That's very, very important. So you have to work on your stitch before you get to the stage in which your stitch has to be on the tip of the fabric. All the way down. You can see that. So I'm going to place this inside of here. So take your time to run the stitch. You can see. At this stage, you don't have to rush at all. Just take your time. Do it stitch by stitch, ironing by like stitch by stitch. Nothing like ironing by iron. You can see what the stitch look like, how smooth that is looking, and you can see it's at the tip of the fabric. That's very, very important. See that? Here also, just run a straight stitch, just like this. You can see what I'm doing. All the way here. You can see that. Make sure it is flattened. See that it is even going like relaxing on the fabric even without stitching it. That's exactly what you want. That's what you want to get. Here also, take your time to control it, flatten it, run your stitch. You can see what I'm doing. You can see the stitch. You can see how it is at the tip. That's the most important part. I don't want to like jump this whole video. I want you guys to go through this video with me. So when you're doing your own, you can follow the same process. You can see that. Easy, easy, easy. And here also, you can see what I'm doing. You can see that. You can see that. Okay. So now you can look at the tip. You can, I actually trim out this length of the piping previously. So it's actually end, thank God it ended exactly on the tip of the neck opening. So this is what you are supposed to be having in total. See that? This is what you're going to be having. It's going to be our final result. So I'm going to take you guys to the ironing table now. This is what it's going to look like. It's not going to relax exactly how it's supposed to be. So we take this to the ironing table and we're going to iron this together also. So now you can see what we have. This is what you're supposed to have after the stitching. You can see it is not relaxed, but so far some people can neck this, they can work with this, they're okay. But now this is the most, like the most important part. I'm going to iron it from the inside first. I'm going to iron it from the inside. You can see that. You can see that place, how that place looks like. I'm going to iron it from this side also in order to give us our results first, the type of the result in which we want. So the inside has to be ironed first. So the upper part, which is the neck area also, going to iron that place as well. You can see, that. So after that is done, the next thing now is to balance the neck. So from the shoulder line, make sure you balance both of your shoulder. That's important. Make sure the fabric is balanced very, very well. And your shoulder is balanced, right? Make sure the shoulder line is balanced. You see what I have? Once the shoulder line is balanced, from that shoulder area, I'm going to iron it. You can see, make sure the shoulder is balanced. Let me bring the camera closer. You see here. So now just iron it all the way from that shoulder line. You can see that. Simply iron it all the way down. Press the presser on it. You can see that we are getting our results gradually. See what we're getting here. So what our result is looking like. See that? Easy, easy peasy. So the same thing we did on that side, you see what it's looking like. You see how flattened it is. It's exactly the same thing we are going to do on the second side as well. So flatten your shoulder line, place it exactly where it's supposed to be. The edge, flatten it. You see that? Hold it together. Then start your ironing all the way like this. So what I'm having here as well. Take your time. You don't have to rush on this stage at all. Take your time, iron it all the way down. What we really want is the fact that this place is flattened. It's like flattened with the fabric itself. And majorly this part is ironing, ironing, and ironing work. So you can see what I'm going to be having here in total. This is what's supposed to be. You can see some rumble around that corner edge, right? I'm going to trim out this excess so I can iron that rumble on that edges because it has to be flattened. Flattened, as I said. So here, iron that edge very well. In this place also, iron that edge very, very well. Just like that. You see what we having now. See that? See how flat that is looking. So this is exactly the result you should be having also. You see that? This is exactly how to pipe a professional neckline. So let's go to the table, and this is what we are going to be having as a final result. Our final result. You see how clean that is looking. See what we are having. This how to pipe a professional neckline. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to smash the like button. All you have to do now is just to like add your plaquette and do the finishing, join your sleeve, and that is all. Just in case you want to learn, a link to my website will be below. You can enroll and join the classes, how to get into the whole process and become a professional. I will see you in the next video.